What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today we're going to be looking at some absolutely stunning fancy goldfish from NK Farms based in Thailand. So make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out those links in the description. Make sure to check out our sponsors, and if you haven't already, make sure you check out the giveaway we are doing on the Facebook group. On the 1st of December, we launched the giveaway, which will close on the 24th of December at 4 o'clock UK time, and we are giving away a £50 voucher to spend at Star Fisheries, or a $50 voucher to spend at Jimmy Goldfish USA if you are from the US. So that is for our US and UK members. Now, if you go down into the link in the description and click on our Facebook group, you should be able to find that pinned in the announcement section. Completely free to enter and super easy, super simple as well. So make sure you check out that. Now on to today's video. Obviously you may hear I have a little bit of a cold, but nonetheless I'm still making videos for you guys because I don't want you to miss out on the content. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be heading over to the marine tank and we're going to be having a look at some amazing NK Farm Oranda and Ranchu. We're going to be doing a little bit of quality assessment, looking at the overall fish, what I like and dislike about them, etc. So we're going to head over there now and get straight into the video. I must say this video that I am filming has been filmed by The Beautiful Goldfish, which is another YouTube channel. I'll put a link down to the original video there because I am not the original video maker. I'm just doing more of a reaction video to it, like you may see many other YouTubers doing. So we head over to the marine tank now and let's check out these fish. Just before we start looking at these amazing Oranda Ranchu that we're going to have on the screen, obviously you can see this beautiful Sakura Oranda. You may also notice I do have some new fish in the marine tank and they will be probably swimming past in the video. Hopefully you've got a nice little backdrop other than me just in the corner of the video. But let's take a look at some of these fish. As you can see, they say they are from NK Farms in Thailand, and this right here is an absolutely stunning example of a Sakura Oranda. Now the Sakura Oranda has amazing red and white. It's got that lovely gin rin, which is the sparkly scales mixed in there as well. It looks like it's potentially a rose tail, or there's many other different types of tail types of the Oranda as well, and this one looks to be a rose tail. When you're looking at quality in fish just like this one here, we want to be looking for that wen growth. We want to see that superb wen growth, and if I just pause the video right there, you can see that tail is a lovely fan shape. We've got really good curvature on the top and the base of the tail, and the fish has a really good swimming pattern. Although it is quite a cumbersome fish, which goldfish generally are, with the larger bodies, large heads, etc., they do have, especially these Oranda, have a really graceful look about them. Somehow they manage to overcome that huge body and those really sort of large looks and become a graceful fish just swimming through the water. And I really love the nares or the pom-poms on the face as well. They really add to that overall look, and this is really what a super high quality Oranda should look like. This is a really nice example of a fish. Absolutely great body shape, really love the fins on this. And if you guys want to be aiming for high quality Oranda, the new style Oranda that are being produced from NK Farms or Shogun, etc. in Thailand, then these are the fish you want to sort of be looking at and sort of aspiring to. Now, some people may not want to keep high quality fish like the multiple Oranda we can see here. However, these are the fish that are now the sort of new kids on the block, the new style Oranda. They aren't the same as the show fish that we would see in maybe a decade, 2 decades ago, but the fish are slightly changing. These are, I would say, like a modified muscle car, for example, not a classic car you would see on the show scene back in the day, but these are more of a modified, slightly developed fish that are becoming much more fashionable. And here we can see we've got a few different types. We've got a lovely jet black Oranda, we've got the Sakura, we've got a red and white, and overall these fish are just so graceful. Even though they are such large fish, overall, and they have such huge bodies and really can't swim that well. They do have a real quality about them. And now we can see some NK Ranchu. Just pause the video there. We've got some different types here. Now personally, when looking at a young Ranchu, these fish are fish that I wouldn't personally select. Now there are a few things that I would look for and look at when selecting Ranchu, and these guys don't stand out to me too much. Although they are quite young, and I'm sure as they get older and the specific line of these fish will develop and they will change into really nice quality fish, these guys don't quite do it for me. When you're looking at the backs of the fish, they aren't that nice curve shape. They curve down and then kind of slant at a diagonal angle into the tail tube. I like to see that full curvature come from just behind the head, not too much of a high hump like a camel, but a nice curvature above the head that curves down into that tail peduncle. And we don't like to see such a sharp drop off, because generally as the fish gets larger and grows, that drop off will become more exaggerated and more increased. Also another thing, although these fish are potentially quite young, they don't have that developed wen growth. Now when selecting young fish like these Ranchu here, we really want to see that wen growth on the chin. We want that sort of double chin, and we want the cheeks to be prominent. We don't need excessive wen growth where it's covering the eyes, etc., but we do want to see a little bit more contortions and curvatures and sort of pits and falls within the wen, so we've got more of a structure going on when selecting a young fish, because we know there is an extremely high chance that will grow and expand as the fish gets older and turn into a really nice looking wen overall, and the full hood covering the face. But generally these Ranchu don't quite have the qualities that I would look for. However, I'm sure in 2 years of good growth they will turn out to be really nice fish in the end and really produce a larger style Ranchu, maybe with less swim bladder or buoyancy issues, because they do look like they've got that slightly elongated body in comparison to these fish. Now some of these fish, like the calico we can see on the left, has that nice curve and then it really curves round into that caudal peduncle. Now many people will like this style of fish, more like a big submarine, a big unit of a Ranchu, but I quite like the little bit more elongated peduncle and tail tube as we saw in those previous fish, with the curvature as well. So generally looking at the Ranchu on the right, the red and white one that we can see, it has a bit of a better curve going into the tail, and we can really see the chocolate Ranchu or the lavender style Ranchu have a real hump and that real predominant curve that I did mention earlier in the video that I don't quite want to see. But looking at the overall fish here, so generally those orange and the white fish that you can see here, and that calico as well that's on the screen, has that nice overall curve going into the tail tube. And this is a really important factor when selecting your Ranchu. You really want to make sure if you're buying a young fish, it has that good curvature, because as with anything, as it grows, it gets larger, it will be much more pronounced. Any imperfections or any slight damage or unstraight backs will become far more prevalent and far more easy to catch with your eye. So if you're not quite sure about a fish from a young age, it's definitely going to bug you and get worse as that fish gets older. And now we skipped over some small Oranda, but now I've just got to pause the video on this stunning Oranda here. This is what I would call maybe, it's quite a difficult one. It's like a chocolate but a metallic mixed with a bit of black and a silver belly, so it's quite hard to distinguish what this Oranda was. Potentially this was a full black Oranda that has molted into this potentially going silvery kind of colour Oranda. Now, a lot of goldfish will molt. A lot of people do get that confused with ammonia burn, having black blotches on the body, but goldfish, dependent on the line, will molt and change as they get older. Similar to quite a lot of animals like dogs and cats, the markings may change as they get older. They may stretch, they may slightly change in colour, and the goldfish do that as well. The colours do change dependent on the environment and the food. There are many different factors, the different lighting, sunlight, no sunlight, etc. They can all change the fish, but it is quite nice to see them developing over time, and I'm really liking the quality of these NK Orandas. Now these guys will likely not have as many buoyancy issues as an Orantu because they do have the stability of the dorsal fin and they do have those larger fins, where in comparison if we're looking at a new style Ranchu, they don't quite have the larger fins. People like the small cute fins, the mini tail Ranchu with the small pectoral fins, and they don't quite have the stability that these Orandas have. And the Orandas also have that slightly elongated body. The organs are not as compacted and not as crushed in the body cavity, so they don't tend to develop as prevalent buoyancy issues. So that is one positive to Orandas, and maybe I would look at getting into Orandas sometime in the future because I really like this new style. And now we've gone from the classic new style Oranda down into the short body or the ingot style or the Yun Bao Orandas. Now these have much smaller tails. They are similar to the mini tail Ranchu as I mentioned earlier in the video, and they have that smaller body, far more small and compact. Essentially they are a type of modified Ranchu with the dorsal fin. Now they don't have the huge bodies, the huge heads, they're far more cute and compact in shape, and these are good for smaller tanks. So maybe if you've only got 180, 250, 300 litres, the Yun Bao or the ingot Oranda would be perfect for a system like that. Whereas if you're going into the 450, 500, 600, 700 litre tank and up, the large style NK Orandas may be more suited for you. They can tend to get sort of the 10 to 12 inch mark and really get sort of a double palm sized Oranda in the huge NK one. So that is definitely something to think about when you're doing escape or when you are setting up your new tank. But overall, the new style ingot Orandas are really nice and they are quite good for smaller systems, and they don't tend to get as big. Maybe 5 to 6 inches is the standard size, but those larger Oranda we see do get quite big dependent on the bloodline and the structure of the fish. So hopefully I've given you guys a good overview of these different Oranda from the NK farm in Thailand, and I'm just going to wrap up the video there because we've come to the end of our footage. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Not too long of a video, but it was really nice to see some super high quality and superb examples of those Oranda especially and those Ranchu as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, let me know in that comment section. If you guys want your tank or setup featured on the channel in our tank tours or our Rate My Tank series, then you can let me know down in that comment section or send me an email at fancygoldfishfanatics@gmail.com and we can get that on the channel for you. So as always, remember to keep those water changes up and happy fish keeping.